This is a WKYT podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Conversations with Victor and Andrea. We're trying something a little different this week.
Andrea, starting off, you're doing a good job.
Totally unfiltered, unedited.
There'll be some filters. There'll be some editing.
True.
I have a conversation today with Olivia Russell. Just get right into it.
She's a certified youngin'.
She's a firecracker.
Oh my gosh, yes.
A certified youngin'.
She is. Well, so there is a new crop. Mm-hmm. Which makes us, we're like I said, we're in limbo.
Yeah, we are no longer like the kids of the newsroom. We are definitely we're middle age.
We're the middle children.
I think in life I'm starting to get middle age too. But yeah, so Olivia, one day she said, I listened to the podcast and I learned something about you. And I said, what's that? She goes, you're old.
Aww.
And I said, oh yeah, I guess I didn't.
You're not old. You're older than people think you are. Is your thing.
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing.
I'm really just sitting here considering my own mortality.
Oh, stop it.
So, Andrea, how you doing?
I'm good. Oh, my gosh. I was listening to a podcast about people thinking about their mortality.
Yeah.
And it very much changes and influences your decisions.
Well, yeah. I mean, this is kind of a tangent. I gave a speech one time at a high school graduation. Mm-hmm. And part of my speech was that essentially we're all going to die.
Lovely.
Like on a long enough timeline, we're all kind of living on borrowed time. And it wasn't quite that grim, but there's a quote from one of my favorite authors, Neil Gaiman, in this series he did, The Sandman, where death is the persona. Death is this like young female who goes around and she'll escort people out, when they die. Like she shows up next to them and then takes them off to wherever they go. And she gets this one guy, and he was, for some reason, he'd lived thousands of years or something, and he died in a freak accident. And she goes to get him, and whenever he goes, no, I still need more time. I've still got I've still got things to do. And she looks at him and goes, you got what everyone got. You got a lifetime.
Ooh.
And that was kind of the point of that. It's like everybody gets
Boom.
a lifetime. Sometimes it lasts minutes. Sometimes,
right.
110-year-old person just still dawdling along.
So
doing all right. So
mine was a little less dark. The podcast I listened to,
but that's what it made me think of, the mortality thing.
Yeah, well, they just kind of said something like they would stand someone in front of a funeral home for like a second. Like for some reason, they just place them in these areas where you just can't help but think about it, and then they would test them on different things. Like they asked different judges what sentence they would be giving certain people, and they answered very differently depending on whether or not they had been in front of a funeral home or like reminded of their mortality. It was interesting. They were much harsher if they had been.
Well, something people don't.
And you're riskier when you're reminded of it, which seems counterproductive, counterintuitive.
It's something people don't always want to think about, or think. It's sometimes an uncomfortable conversation.
I don't want to think about it anymore.
I don't mind.
I can tell. He is into this, people.
Well, it's something I am very cognizant of moments and how precious they are.
Right.
I mean, there are times when I'm holding my daughter when I realize, like, oh, this is a moment that I love, that I'm happy. Like me and her and Mandy were all on the couch the other night, and we're all just laying there, watching TV, just being happy.
Victor.
Are you going to cry? And I realized, in that moment, I realized right now I'm very happy. At some point later on down the line, something bad might happen. Who knows? As an old man, I might be like, man, I wish things were the way they were in that moment. So I was aware of that.
Oh my gosh.
In that moment, and just enjoying it. And I think that's something that not enough people do.
I agree.
Is identifying those moments and enjoying them.
No, that's a wonderful thing, because a lot of times they'll be like, go to your happy place, like, or think of a time where you were just so happy.
Yeah, and I feel like I do.
You have times to think of.
I do
Most
a good
people
job.
Are like, I don't know.
Well, I think I do a good job of identifying those moments while I'm in them, because a lot of times people don't until they're past.
You're so wise.
Well, I do what I can.
And old.
This is wisdom that comes with age.
Oh gosh.
So yeah, somehow
Olivia's probably turned this off before getting to her interview, because she's like, this is a downer.
It's really diverted from our conversation with Olivia. But anyway,
you might have to do a lot of editing here.
All right, and that's how we're going to start this podcast with
Olivia
Russell.
And it's never true.
Yeah. So, Andrea, you're excited about this one?
Well, I am. I'm always excited, but Olivia is someone that we've been trying to get in here for quite some time. So I'm excited that she finally was able to spare a moment for us, which I don't even know that she had a moment to spare, but she's doing it anyway.
I like to talk. I'm going to talk to someone. I might as well record it, right?
I love it. Well, after
taking
meeting your
pity on
mom
us.
and your sister, I see where you get it from.
Oh, you met her.
Yep.
How did this happen?
It was a Tequila Tuesday.
Oh, all right. Well,
You don't have to beg my family to go drink margaritas. So when they offered, they just showed up in Lexington.
There you go. It's
I
that
mean,
easy, sir.
that sounds like a good plan, but nobody invited me, so it's all right.
Yeah, I think you were working.
I probably was.
That's what we're gonna say. If I recall correctly, that seems
I mean, I
accurate.
wouldn't have come, but
Exactly. So forget you.
It was at like noon on a Tuesday,
Oh
so
yeah, I definitely wouldn't have been there. So, Olivia, recently you joined the morning anchor team on the weekends.
I did. I'm coming for your jobs now, Victor. I
I'll
know
keep
you
that
were
in mind.
you
Well,
were
coming
part
for
of that.
Andrea's. Yeah,
There you go. Yeah.
always a good time. So, how did that come about? I guess they wanted a
was
second person?
Yeah, there was an opening and they're like, "Hey, do you want it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I get to talk even more." If you don't understand now, talking is like my number one hobby. So
That's going to get paid for what you're good at.
if I can talk for 2 hours and get paid, I'm okay with that. So there was an opening. I know our evening anchor went to another station, so Garrett Weimer left mornings, jumped down there, just kind of this opportunity, and got to run with it, right?
You need a co-anchor on a morning show because Krista was by
Yeah.
herself, and that is so hard. Like, I always feel so dumb, like ad-libbing with myself.
Just 2 hours
Yeah.
of talking by yourself. Yeah,
It's
things
so
start to get bad.
awkward.
Okay, I'm not going to say I've talked to myself for 2 hours, but again, I'm a talker. I can talk to myself if I need to, so...
But I like to do it in private, typically. I don't usually like for an audience to be watching my inner monologues.
That's
that
true.
spill out sometimes.
Your inner monologues scare me anyway. All right,
True.
well, so Olivia, you are from Louisville?
I'm from
correct?
Louisville. Yep.
How,
yep.
how did you get started? When did you know that the news was something you were interested in?
See, and that's where I really don't know. For a while, I thought I wanted to go into sports, actually, because I played every single sport growing up. I played softball for 18 years. Thought that's what I wanted to do, and then I went to college, got an internship at our sister station, Wave 3 News in Louisville, and just kind of fell into place. And I just worked my way up from there. I graduated, moved to Monroe, Louisiana, really small city there. That's actually... Well, West Monroe, where I live, technically, is where Duck Dynasty was filmed, and that family lives. So I always tell people that that's where I lived, and if you can get a feel for that, you'll understand why it wasn't really home for me. I'm not really a country girl. I don't go hunting or fishing or anything. So I was way out of my comfort zone there. When I had the opportunity to come back to Lexington, I was like, "Yep. There I am."
Sign me up.
It's home too. You can't beat home. It's only an hour away from my parents, and that
It's
was
a city.
Yeah,
That's a good distance from parents, really.
Oh yeah. Well, and even my sister's showing up today. Mom will show up like once a week and be like, "Hey, I brought you some stuff." So now that she has access to me, you can't get rid of Mom.
Well, real quick, did you ever meet Cy from Duck Dynasty?
Oh my
I
goodness.
did.
You did?
And he still had the cup that he always carries
his
around.
Tupperware cup.
Yep.
With sweet
Yep.
tea. Mm-hmm. Oh, I love it. I used to really like that show.
They were so sweet too, and everyone down there. I know I sit there and I say it wasn't my cup of tea if we're going with that theme, but everyone was so nice.
Oh, yeah.
So nice. If I was going to do a story, someone would say, "Hey, do you have a second? We have some lemonade if you want to drink some lemonade out on the front porch."
I love it.
And yeah, really, really genuine people.
So it was fun for a time.
Oh, yeah, and you need that experience. You need to grow. I learned a lot about myself. If you all met me in college, you would have said, "There's no way this girl will have a professional career."
Could have said that about a lot of us in college, probably.
Yeah, so it was kind of just like, oh, I grew up. I learned how to be independent, make my own decisions, and figure my stuff out.
So was there ever anything else you thought about doing other than sports?
when you only play sports growing up,
Right.
that's what you think all of your hobbies are. So, like I said, when I played softball, even through college, I graduated and suddenly I'm like, I have no hobbies. I have no other interests. Who am I as a person?
All my friends are softball people. All my time is scheduled around softball, and suddenly,
Exactly. So I remember someone asked me when I was in Louisiana, what are some of your hobbies? And I said, wine.
Oh my gosh,
I didn't think about it. I'm like, I
it.
can't say that wine is a hobby.
It can be.
It is. I've made it one. So.
Oh my gosh. But I mean, I think a lot of people have a tough transition when you do have something that you're so devoted to and then it's just gone.
Yeah, and they don't really prepare you for that.
No.
Like you said, all your friends, like that's what you're doing from 5 a.m. until the moment you go to sleep. You're in class or you're playing ball, and suddenly that's all gone, and you're an adult and you can't wear sweatpants every day.
Like, wait, what happened? Where am I? Yeah.
So growing up in Louisville, what was your impression of Lexington?
I always thought it was a college town. So when I moved here, I was pleasantly surprised learning that there are people in their mid-20s who are still going out and hanging out and who actually live here too. Like I said, I thought it was just the college kids. And now I'm like, okay, like this is a good environment for young adults.
Yeah,
So-
that's important.
Well, one other good thing, because I found a lot of people who grow up either in Louisville or Lexington, sometimes Cincinnati, they don't really explore the rest of the state so much. They kind of just stick to the cities. Whereas getting to do this job now, you are getting to see a lot of the state.
Every part of Kentucky. And again, I keep going back to, my softball days. But I went to these other cities when I was growing up, playing ball tournaments for the weekend. Never got to experience them, though. Even throughout college, I was in St. Louis. I was in just all these other big cities. Never got to experience them. So now that I'm old enough to take a road trip with my friends, I'm like, oh, wow, there's so much life out there in the world. It's not just softball.
Right?
Which was
There's a
ingrained
whole
in
new
my
world,
head.
girl.
Yeah.
A whole new world.
So what's it been like adjusting to the newsroom here? Because there are
Oh, gosh.
you've got a lot of big personalities.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, that's every newsroom, and I love it. A lot of fun personalities. Everyone has been so helpful and nice, and I think people really need to know that we all genuinely get along. Because with big personalities, you never know who you're going to clash with, and I have never had an issue with anyone in this newsroom.
You're young.
And
I'm just kidding.
don't say that! I like everyone. I do.
I'm kidding.
I
I'm
do.
kidding. No, that's wonderful. And I agree. It feels kind of like a family here because we're all basically local, just about.
Yeah.
A huge
yeah.
portion of people, and those who aren't, we welcome them with open arms. So
And there is an interesting age difference, too. So you have some people who are older, married, and then some of us youngins, as we call ourselves.
What was it you said about listening to the podcast you discovered about me?
Oh, you're old.
right, yeah.
Like, he even
We're in
threw
limbo,
a number
Victor.
I know.
out,
We're not
too.
young or old
Yeah, I
anymore.
know.
Well, you are, but
We're kind of, I'm kind of, I guess, the middle-aged people of the newsroom.
but you have a young heart.
You're pretty close.
I'll be 30 in a couple
There you go.
weeks.
See, that's old to Olivia.
And I'm not close to 30.
Good for you. Enjoy it while you can.
Yes, Olivia said, listen to the podcast.
Cherish it.
I didn't know you were old. And I was like, oh, wow.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
glad I could help you
Have
out.
you ever seen Billy Madison?
I've seen it. And I'm
See,
not a movie
she didn't get
person.
that reference, and I was like, oh
No.
no, I really am getting old.
No, and I also warn people about this, too. I'm not a movie person.
Interesting.
So I remember at my old station, we had a lot of crosstalk. I'm talking to the anchors, and they're like, oh, yeah, in such and such movie. I'm like, what?
You just smile. Yeah. You're like, uh-huh.
And even I thought, because I was solo anchoring all week of Christmas, I'm like, they're not going to bring up all the Christmas movies I haven't seen. Of course, the week before, they're like, have you seen Home Alone? I'm like, no.
You haven't seen
They
Home
had
Alone?
to throw that one out there, too.
What Christmas movies have you seen?
Elf and A Christmas Story. Is that
Not even Not even Christmas Vacation?
I have seen bits and pieces. It's always on in the background.
See, there you go. Well, Elf's great. So there you go. You got a good start.
Oh my god.
Die Hard. You seen Die Hard?
I've not.
Same. I'm on this. Victor's been trying to coach me up on movie stuff for a while. So far, he's been mildly successful, but not.
You watched Iron Man. I was
I
proud of
did,
you
and I
for
liked
that.
it.
Well,
And
I
liked it.
haven't been to a movie theater in 3 years.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I realized
It's
that the other
expensive
day.
though.
You know, you're just living a life. You're out doing stuff, and
all the wine, my
And all
hobbies.
that wine, yeah, you've got.
Yeah, you got to
all
keep that at home, you know?
Exactly.
I mean, you can sneak it in, I hear.
So what kind of, I guess, what kind of interesting stories have you done since you started working here? What kind of interesting stuff have you seen?
I can
that
think
sticks
of
with
one.
you?
The explosion.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh,
yeah.
the explosion. And that was, the story was crazy itself, but the entire day was, you know, I think I got the call at 2 o'clock, 2:15, and normally I wake up at like 3. So when I get a call from a producer, I think that I've slept through my alarm.
Right, same.
I'm freaking out. And it's Kelsey saying, put your hair in a ponytail and get here. I was like, okay, I did. I threw on like mascara, fixed my eyebrows a little bit because I didn't want us to lose viewers. And I just kind of threw myself together as pleasantly as possible and showed up, got in around 2:30. I went out there, was live at 4:30, which we usually don't do. We usually
Right.
start going live at 5. I was live every half hour and
AM, 4:30 a.m., not PM.
Yes.
yeah,
true.
Yes.
I'm a nocturnal hamster here. And so I'm going live all morning. I get a call around 9 o'clock, and I'm like, okay, only a few hours left. Someone's going to pick up this story dayside. And it's our assignment editor saying, I need you to work late today. And I'm like, oh, okay, I can swing a couple hours. I didn't sleep much last night because I was scared I was going to sleep through my alarm. It was
Yes.
probably like 4 hours of sleep. And I worked until 6:30
Oh my
that
goodness.
evening.
Oh,
So
my God.
16-hour
16
day.
yeah.
And I thought I was really smart bringing some goldfish and Teddy Grahams with me.
That was
But
your
that's
lunch?
what I had all
That's
day.
all you had.
It was
And so
interesting.
this was the one in Garrett
Honey.
County?
Lincoln County.
Lincoln County.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
needed your
But
Louisiana people with
I
their
know.
lemonade coming out to help you.
They no, and if you were at breaking news and stuff like that, they would bring you snacks and food.
Yeah.
It was
Aw.
so sweet. But here, I mean, there wasn't a lot going on. We were all very focused, and it was nice to see all the other reporters from other cities. I know from Louisville, we had some from Cincinnati, and just really get to talk to those other people because we know each other in the Lexington market, and I really like the other reporters we work with, but it's such a small world, and we all go through so many similar things. So to talk to someone else about that, it's like, whoa, crazy how this industry works.
Right. It's always fun to talk to someone that understands your struggles. Like, and you
Yes.
can see it in their face, like they get it.
When you're like, wow, I'm stuck at breaking news for 16 hours.
Right.
And they're like, yep, it happens. We get it.
Exactly. Yeah, people are like, I have 16 live hits to do today. I got to do 3 teases, blah, blah, blah. And most people are like, I don't understand what you're saying. You know, like
Yeah.
that means nothing to them.
Exactly. I mean, what's a 9 to 5 work day like? I don't know.
Who knows? We may never know.
We may never.
We may never know.
It's kind of like whenever we all get together, if Mandy comes with us.
Oh, poor thing.
Yeah, she'll just kind of sit there while we're all talking. I'll look at her sometime and be like, I'm sorry. And then I'll change the conversation to something non-news related.
And we'll slowly
But-
slip back into it.
Yeah,
Yep.
it just keeps creeping into every aspect of my life.
It's
Yeah.
true. It's true. All right, let's talk some off the wall questions. So we were talking about fast food earlier. What's your favorite fast food?
Oh, do you want the list?
We do eat a lot of fast food. Well, if we're
a huge part of the
good,
job.
we try not
Yeah.
to. But I find myself eating, like today, I had Fazoli's.
Which I love. I love Fazoli's.
I got the $5.55 lunch.
But
It was
see, I
$5
always-
lunch, and now it's $5.55.
I like to go inside so that I get free breadsticks. So I never like to go through the drive-through there. I don't know. I just never feel like I get my money's worth.
I'm with you. Load up on those breadsticks.
All right.
Okay,
Anyway,
let's bring
Olivia.
the attention back to
Sorry.
me here. You
Sorry.
asked me the question, okay? I have to say Taco Bell is my number one.
Okay.
Big Taco Bell fan.
I'm with
could
you.
eat there 7 days a week and not feel bad about. Well, I would feel bad, but I would enjoy every second
Physically,
of
yes,
it.
you
yeah.
would. Your body.
But I love Arby's.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, those curly fries, you just can't beat them.
They have the meats.
I like their chicken salad too. It's good.
Oh, the one with it's got like walnuts.
got grapes in it.
I'm not eating a chicken salad at Arby's though.
Why
used
do
to
you not
be-
get roast beef at Arby's? Yeah.
I used to be deathly afraid of sesame seeds as a child, so I would only eat the meat. And I was like, I was doing low carb way before it was popular.
A trendsetter.
I know.
And Arby's has the jalapeno poppers as a side.
Nope.
They're good.
Okay, and it's another place that I've just not discovered. Everyone else knew it was here, but being from Louisville, we don't have Cookout. and you can get about anything at Cookout.
Oh yeah, you can get a side of hot
Yeah, I was
dogs.
going to say a side of corn dog.
Corn dog.
Yeah.
I gotta get a hamburger with a side of quesadilla.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
Which Cookout's relatively new around here. That's only been within the past 4 or 5 years, something like that.
Yeah. Well, one thing I would also like, I discovered in Louisiana, is Whataburger.
See,
We
I've
don't
never
have
had that.
Whataburgers here,
Oh,
yeah.
it's good.
I just said
it?
Whataburger, and
It's
it's Whataburger. Yeah.
I'm still confused.
What a burger. It's like
What a burger.
What?
People there say Waterburger.
That's what I was going to
Right.
say.
And I think I was still just too foreign there to
Right.
really get that. So I can sound like an outsider.
We do have Shake Shack here now, which is nice.
Shake Shack is good. I've only had it once, but it was delicious.
It's very expensive, but
I haven't been there
good.
yet.
We don't have In-N-Out. I've never had In-N-Out, and I want to
I
try
haven't had
it.
Jack in the Box either.
I've had Jack in the Box. It's pretty good.
I've had both of those. In-N-Out is good. I don't think it's worth the hype.
The
though.
hype.
Wait, I
That's-
have had In-N-Out. It was good. I liked it.
You need to go check out Tally Ho. Have you been there yet?
Yeah.
I have been
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
This
I
does
have
not
been
surprise
there.
me.
Yeah.
She's young.
well,
I'm sure that was one of the first things she was introduced
Well,
to.
I didn't go. I went with my sister probably about 3 years ago, but we weren't like drunk or hungover. And I've heard that's like the ultimate drunk/hangover food.
I will say it
Late
has
night.
that reputation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
no, Mandy and I go all the time, just, for
It
regular
is
meals.
good.
Yeah, it was good, but everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, like it is heaven!" And
Right.
I'm like,
Oh, yeah, you'll see a line out the door.
Yeah.
If it's your first time and somebody's with you knows, they'll tell them that they'll be like, this is their first time, and they'll scream, "Ho, virgin!" and everybody will
Oh,
point
yeah.
at you.
If you ever get separated from your friends, just a good bet is to go to Tally Ho, I'd say.
They used to be, well, they moved though. They're over on Broadway now. And they used
That's
to be
true. It makes
a
it
lot closer,
tougher.
but still delicious.
They
Ho-
had a good burger for Burger Week.
Yeah.
And I remember talking about this. I was like, it feels weird to go during the day.
yeah, and like I said,
Right.
like we went in the middle of the day, and that's where I was thrown off because my sister like painted this picture of just
debauchery
It's a
and
late night
animals
spot.
on the walls.
It's fun.
and it just wasn't like that.
If you go
So,
around 2 a.m., yeah, it's a little crazier.
Prime time.
take a poncho in case like food or anything is thrown
But
my way.
a ho burger with some fried mushrooms.
Yes.
Chef's kiss.
See, that's how you know you're old. You're talking about fried mushrooms.
Oh, Victor.
I think that's just country in me. I mean, that's.
It did not take her long to just slide right in and start making fun of you.
But I've eaten fried mushrooms since I was a little kid, so maybe I was just born old. I don't know.
Oh, I was, for sure.
Born old.
Do you have any idea how excited I am for bingo this weekend on Oktoberfest?
Oh,
So
are you going to go to
excited.
that? All right, we may go to that. I think Mandy and I might be going to that too. Go
Saturday
see Matthew
night?
Sweet.
Saturday night.
Saturday night. All right, we'll keep that in mind.
Saturday. If you want to hang out with the old folk, you can come with us.
I'll be in Florida.
Oh, that's right. She's
Sorry.
going on vacation.
Oh, that's exciting.
I know. I don't go on vacation often because
Working weekends, yeah. that's-
yeah, and then
It's
also like when I was in Louisiana, all my vacation time was spent coming back to Kentucky to visit family. Now I can use vacation time for vacation.
Beautiful.
But that's one of the roughest things about working weekends is I would have to burn all my vacation going to weddings or to birthday, just different parties people had, and because otherwise, especially working the morning shift, you get off, you go afterward, and suddenly you're the person falling asleep at the table.
yeah.
People think, have they had too much? So no, I'm just tired.
Just tired. All right, Victor, you do an off-the-wall question.
Oh, I don't know if I mean,
You're an off-the-wall guy.
most
You
of
can
mine
do
are
it.
connected to, we've done food. She's never seen any movies. But you do watch do you watch reality television?
Oh, big
See,
reality.
there we
Oh,
go.
she's a
we found
Bachelor
it.
girl.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, it gets good.
So,
Okay, I have a confession actually.
All right.
So ever since I was little, I've had this vision, and I've always wanted to be on Survivor.
Mm.
Ah.
And now we have these Kentucky contestants
Second
yeah.
person.
who have apparently set the bar really high.
Nick Wilson won.
Yeah, like
Was that
that's
last
pretty
season?
good.
I think it was last
I'm
season.
probably gonna, if I were to go on this, I would just lower that bar so fast. But it's always been a dream of mine to be
Or
on
would
Survivor.
you raise it with entertainment value?
How long do you think you'd last?
Oh, I'd get hungry. I don't know.
I'd betray someone for a bag of Doritos. The next thing I know, I'm out.
There are so many beauty things I would have to do before I went. Like I would have to
Eyebrows
get my
microbladed.
Yes, I was just
Yep.
gonna say I'd have to get my eyebrows done because you're gonna be on camera and you're gonna look like I'd get my eyelashes done. Like,
Yeah,
I would.
fresh wax, everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
You got to prepare.
I hadn't thought of all that stuff.
That's because guys don't have to worry about all this stuff.
Yeah, you brush your hair. Okay, I'll go to work.
If that,
Great. That's very exciting.
it's tough. It's a tough life.
So other than we hit on fast food, I guess what other places in Lexington do you enjoy going? I mean, you enjoy, there's a lot of places to go get some good wine.
Yeah, she's been to a few wineries, I think.
I've been to Talon. It was really, really good. It's beautiful out there.
It is.
And I like exploring the local breweries and everything.
Yes.
I think those are always interesting because everyone has a different little taste, or they have one beer that I just fall in love with. So
Well, there's a winery about 2 houses down from me. So if you ever want to come back to the schoolhouse,
I
just
love
let me
your
know.
house. Well, I also
I feel like if somebody listens to this, all of our episodes, they can definitely pinpoint where you live. So good job keeping that up.
Again, everyone in Nicholasville knows where I live.
All right, sorry.
So there's
continue.
no hiding it.
So you're going to a winery in Nicholasville now?
Yeah, well, and then I'm going to spend the night at Andrea's because
Yes.
her place is haunted, and I just want to hang out with the little kids.
And she also loves Kiki. So
Do you hear
Yeah,
the voices
the
of
cat.
children at your house? Is that a thing?
I hear running, like footsteps at night.
I mean, you may just have a wild animal stuck in your house somewhere that you haven't been able to find.
You know what? You are no fun.
Okay, it's a ghost instead.
Just let me live. Let me live my life.
I'll go experience it, and I'll let you know.
You let me know. Olivia will tell me the truth.
Yeah.
Well, Olivia, as we're wrapping this up, is there anything else you'd like to say? Anything you want to say? If people want to reach out to you on social media, what's the best way to do that?
Russell News on Twitter.
Right.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Russell. Everyone forgets one of the L's
Okay.
every single time. So Russell News, NEWS.
He's
Self-explanatory.
the Victor Puente.
Because somebody is just sitting on Victor Puente and they won't give it up. They never tweet. I've tried to tweet at them. Nobody responds. It's very disconcerting.
Well, my struggle growing up was always that my personal account and everything, it's usually Olivia Bolivia, but somebody has used Olivia Bolivia because I'm actually Olivia and I'm Bolivian. So I should be
You earned it.
the Olivia Bolivia.
There are probably no other Bolivians named Olivia.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So why are these girls using my name?
I know. It's tough.
They're fake.
Do you remember your AIM screen name? Did you even have that? Or are you too young?
Oh, no. Oh, I had one. My first one, I had at least like 10. I was like, my first one was Gym Monkey 806 because I was a gymnast.
I love it.
No, just wait till the last one. That one was good. But I was like Louisville Slugger, or like LOU Slugger 00, Oli XOXO, and then the big one. Okay, just imagine this. It goes uppercase and lowercase.
Oh, of course.
Bling Baby XOXO. But baby, instead of a Y, it had 2 lowercase I's.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
And I was all just this sassy little girl, and
I've learned a lot.
I knew this was going to be a good answer.
Wow.
I could just tell.
You didn't even get me started on like the Jonas Brothers or anything.
Honey.
Like this
Did
conversation.
you go to Columbus or to where were they? Cincinnati was it where we saw?
They were in Cincinnati, I
Yeah.
believe. They've been in Indy.
Krista went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I cried at a Jonas Brothers concert in 7th grade.
Oh boy.
I did at a Backstreet Boys last weekend.
Yeah, that's true. She was. Right, we'll get into that later.
Well, yeah, I remember yelling, "I love you, Nick Jonas," and I turned to my friends. I was like, "I just told Nick that I loved him." Like, I thought I was having a moment. Like, this
Oh
is
my
the first time I've
gosh.
ever told a man that I loved him,
Oh.
and I cried. I was like 13.
And he didn't
love it.
respond. Wow.
I know. Well, he did marry an ethnic girl, so clearly he has a type.
See, there you go.
If
Yeah.
only
my
we would
gosh.
have met, we would have fallen in love.
You are Priyanka Chopra or Ashley I from The Bachelor.
I love them.
I do. I love them both.
Anyone with a good tan, someone's like, "Oh my gosh, you look like so and so." I'm like, because I'm tan with dark hair and dark eyes. Is that it? But yeah, no, I love them. So thank you for the comparison.
Yes.
I'll take that.
All right. Well, this has been pretty entertaining.
Victor's just
I'm
kind
glad
of
we
sitting
did this.
back. He doesn't know what to say.
He doesn't know what we're talking
No, I've
about.
enjoyed this. Well, no, just as the old man, I'm just sitting over here taking it all in.
Aw.
I remember all
He's
my
the
AIM
Chris
screen names.
Bukowski of the newsroom.
I don't know who that is, but all right.
The veteran here.
Don't worry about it. I'll explain later.
Well, everybody, I hope this has been entertaining for everybody. Thanks for listening. Well, Andrea, what'd you think of that?
She's hilarious.
She is hilarious.
She is unapologetically herself.
I think she's going to be a great fit in the mornings. Like her and Krista will play off each other well.
Oh, man.
She's perfect for a morning show where she can chat about stuff. Yeah.
Yes, just let her go. Give her something to talk about, and I think she's good.
There you go.
Because I love that I was just like, "What's your favorite restaurant?" She's like,
Well-
"Well, Do you want the list? Like, do you want short answer, long answer? Like, she's ready no matter what. Strong opinions.
We got nothing but time.
And by the way, for those wondering, Chris Bukowski has made more appearances on Bachelor shows than anyone else. And the big gag this season was they would change his Chiron every time. So, like, once they started listing all of the seasons he'd been on and then ran out of space, then they said, hoping this is the last time, or Bachelor veteran, grown,
I'm
man.
going to search for these because that sounds funny to me,
Yes,
like
he
just
was
seeing all
really
those.
funny. Yeah, the producers on The Bachelor are very cheeky. If you pay really close attention, they drop you some
I'd
Easter
imagine
eggs.
after a while they get bored of the same thing over and over and
Oh,
over.
for
And so
sure.
then this is them having fun with stuff.
I mean, I don't know what you're talking about because it's always riveting television, but
right.
sure.
So, Andrea, what have you been up to? Do anything fun lately?
Well, I had my party
Oh, yeah. How'd that go?
that you didn't come to, but it's okay.
Yeah, you missed you were out on assignment for our last podcast.
I really
didn't
was.
even
I was
think about that.
working.
You literally were. You were out doing something, so Miranda stepped in, talked to Daniel Harrison.
I thoroughly enjoyed that conversation.
Miranda was perfect for it. She's like, I
She
only drink Miller
was.
Lite. I go, well, no, this is going to be great.
How do I avoid a hangover? He's like, don't drink so much. It was just like the least educated person on craft beer. She likes what she likes. She doesn't stray.
Which is perfect for him to talk to, because then he can kind of be like,
Yeah.
no, this is how you find what you like. And afterwards, he even told me, I told her this, that he's like, oh, I really liked her, man. She's like, she likes to party.
Oh, Miranda can have a good time.
Yeah.
I love her so much, and she's very real too, kind of like Olivia. Like
She
they don't
sure is.
They don't hold back.
So last Friday, okay, sorry. So you had your party.
Yes, it went well. Let's move on to the Backstreet
Good.
Boys.
All right.
Because
Friday night, last Friday, if you're listening to this as it came out, that's a week ago, we went to the Yum Center in Louisville, the KFC Yum Center.
yes,
And
we've been building up this concert since the podcast began.
it finally happened. My wife and I joined Andrea and a man I'll refer to as Mr. X.
Yeah. We didn't know. Would she be able to pull it off?
Because
Could she get a date?
Because when the tickets were purchased, her mother was going to be her
He
date.
did not exist. He did,
and
but I
the
didn't
other thing
know
was,
it.
I thought, well, there's a chance this gentleman maybe hang out with us in the future. And do we want his first exposure of me to be at a Backstreet Boys concert where I'm a 38-year-old man, cheering along to "I Want It That Way"? But he
was
seemed
fine
pretty cool
with
with it.
it.
Yeah, he was fine. He made a very good impression on Mandy and I. But yeah, so we picked you all up in Louisville.
You want to talk about where you picked us up?
Okay, so we thought about potentially getting a hotel room to spend the night there, but then we had to pick up the little girl the next day, and we're like, well, we'll just save the money. It's an hour drive back. But you all did get a hotel room. He had to
'Cause
work
he had to
there
work
next.
in Louisville the
Exactly,
next
he's
day
already
anyway,
working there. So
so
at that
it would've
point,
been silly.
yeah. So you sent me a message of where to pick you up, and I told Mandy, and she goes, well, maybe we'll get a hotel room there too, and that way we can all just hang out afterwards or something. And I pulled it up and I looked at it. I'm not going to name the place, but I'm not going to disparage it. But it was off of Hurstbourne Parkway. And I said, Mandy, look at this. And I showed her the outside, and she goes, oh, we are not staying there.
She pulls up and she's like, are you sure you two aren't related? Because apparently you and I both will find the cheapest.
That's what she said. That she goes, she could be your sister.
I know.
Just because that sounds like something I would
Seriously,
do.
though.
Because I have a habit of, and I think I've done it once or twice, and that's why I know that she would not be willing to stay at that place anymore, of getting cheap places, and her being like, no, just spend the extra $50.
It was a good lesson learned for
Mm-hmm.
Mr. X.
Yeah, that he
Don't
needs to
trust
be
me
the
with
one.
decisions
Oh,
like
I'm sure.
this.
What did he think about it?
Well, he said if he didn't have to shoot someone or if neither of our cars were broken into, he'd consider it a success. So it was a success.
It was a success. All right, that's great. There were some regulars just hanging out on the sidewalk whenever we pulled up.
Takes all kinds. Moving on.
Moving on.
I'd never been to the Yum Center.
Oh,
it was
you hadn't?
beautiful.
Yeah, no, it's great. We'd been there. We saw Bruno Mars there. Our seats this time were much better than they were
Oh,
for
we
Bruno.
had great seats.
We were nosebleeds basically for Bruno Mars. We could almost touch the ceiling. But this time we were down lower level, basically right directly across from the stage.
We went all out.
It was worth it. Great seats.
I sang Backstreet Boys songs for days. I'm pretty much still singing them at this point. It was interesting, though, because they peppered in a lot of their new stuff, which was all good.
Yeah.
Of course, I was craving the classics because That's what I grew
Well,
up
so
with.
here's one of the other things. When you bought that ticket, one of the inclusions was for each ticket you bought, you got a copy of their new album.
which I never listened
Several
to.
months ago, I brought Andrea her 2 copies and said, here you go. Be sure to listen to these because they're probably going to play some songs off of them. They did, and Andrea didn't know a single one of them.
Did you, though?
Yeah. I did. The acapella song.
He really loves this one
I
song.
really like that acapella
This
song.
is your favorite thing, I think.
Oh, no, it's a different song of theirs is my favorite thing. One that I
Okay.
didn't even know they'd done. I'll get into that at the end. But, yeah, so there's the acapella song. They did the 2 that they've actually released as singles. A few other ones. They've got some slow ones on there that, actually, hearing them live, I like them better than on the CD. But, yeah.
Now, a lot of people were asking, did they still sing live? I think they were
I think so.
definitely.
No, that's even Mandy even said, she said, oh, their voices are a lot better than I expected. And they were actually singing. I was like, yeah, they
They were great.
did a good job. Apparently, Nick Carter was going through some stuff that we didn't know about because 2 days after the concert, he filed a restraining order against his brother, Aaron Carter, because he said his brother threatened his wife and their unborn child.
Oh, gosh. Aaron's been struggling for a while.
Real drama.
Yeah. I went back and watched some of his dances from Dancing with the Stars after that concert because I was in a mood. But he was talking about how they had a really tough childhood.
Wow.
And like AJ said something about how basically like they saved him and they were his family growing up because he joined the band when he was 13.
Yeah.
And like they don't know what would have happened to him. Like he has friends that are dead now. Like he just did not come from a good place. So obviously that affected Aaron a lot more than it did Nick, it seems like.
That's rough. So they played for what, 2.5 hours, something like that?
It was
Long time.
bliss.
All the hits you would expect. At the end, they came back out to do an encore with Larger Than Life.
And the people in front of us, there was only one row in front of
Yep.
us. They left for the encore. Fools.
So we just jumped down.
We
We're
sure
right
did.
against the railing. It's
It
fantastic.
was so fun.
You had several choreographed dances that I didn't know were going to happen. And yeah, there you go.
I love it.
I wish you all could have had that visual of her just doing the dance.
Doing the moves.
So yeah, I had a great time.
It was awesome.
And that's the thing. I'd posted a picture of it on Facebook, and I said, when I told some friends, they talked about how nice it was of me to go with my wife.
Nope.
And I said, no, she's going with me. And one of my friends posted something about like, oh, you got your man card revoked. I was like, dude,
I haven't had that for years.
Yeah.
I
That's not
lost
a
that
concern
a
of
long
mine.
time ago.
For one thing, I'm
Where
not the
do
kind of
you
person
think you
to
originally
care
lost
about
your man card?
what happened when I was a child. Growing up, living with my mom, as a result, I learned to listen to the music that she liked.
Yep.
So it was a lot of like Michael Bolton and Michael Jackson, which Michael Jackson, now less. People are less. But, and so, yeah, she liked a lot of that stuff. So, yeah.
No man, woman, or child can't feel it when he sings when a man
That's true.
loves a woman.
That's how Roxette is my favorite band,
Yes.
the Swedish band Roxette. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, when I would say in high school, I would kind of hide it more, like how much I love pop music and just be like,
Aw.
oh, yeah, that's not that cool. I don't know what, but you get older and you realize people just don't care. And people's opinions don't matter. That's the other thing I've realized.
At all.
Somebody's going to make fun of you for liking something that you don't like. They suck.
I've already told you
I
about
just
my
don't
my iPod shuffle that I put on a bunch of songs I didn't even know
You
to
have to try
impress
to make
that
somebody
guy
sound cool.
who never knew I existed.
So that's really, I've got to the point where, just let people enjoy things, even if I don't like something. Well,
And honestly, it's endearing to me, like when people are into weird, random stuff. Like I think it's great that you love the Backstreet Boys. Like, who cares?
Exactly.
I have more respect for someone that can own it
Yeah.
than someone who's like embarrassed or ashamed of it.
I might make fun of people who listen to Florida Georgia Line, but I don't really care.
No. And it's not making fun. It's poking fun. It's not like truly making fun
Well,
of them.
I don't know about that one. But, no, I'm just kidding.
Well,
But seriously, like, my thing is enjoy what you enjoy. And
Yeah.
it just, if you, as long as it's not harming anyone else.
Right.
What does it matter? I mean, I just,
agree.
I've known enough people who would look down at other people for their musical taste. And it's in every world. You have movie snobs who go,
yeah.
they only like romantic comedies. It's like, let them like what they like. Who do they get? You have, in the beer world.
Why is your opinion
you have
better?
There you go.
It's your opinion.
Yeah.
Everyone has one.
Yeah.
Chill out.
So-
So going into the concert, Howie was your favorite. Which
yes.
both Mandy and I were shocked
I was
by.
heavily criticized that
we
Howie
weren't
D was my favorite
criticizing,
Backstreet
it was
Boy.
more shocking.
Oh, you all definitely pointed at me and laughed whenever he was singing.
No, we were just making sure you were paying attention to your favorite guy. He's got a good voice.
But
But
yeah,
it was just that growing up, very few people picked him
I
as
think
a
that's what
favorite.
it was. And so then as a
And I
result.
appreciated it.
But then by the end of the show, I was like, I think actually Kevin might be my favorite.
And now Mr. X ended up liking Kevin the most too.
I can see that.
He must be like, he's got like some guy vibe.
He just seems like a good dude.
He gives me a Keanu vibe.
He dresses like a really cool Bond villain going out to a club.
He's always
Like
got
he had
a
some
long
Asian inspired
coat.
stuff one time, and he's always got like one thing looked like he's hopping out of the Matrix. So I was just
He's got style. He's bold.
there. You go.
Very bold.
Yes.
I've always been a Brian girl. Brian was always my favorite.
Just one of the Kentucky boys. And
I think he's got the best
that high pitched
voice.
voice. Yeah.
It's between him and AJ for the best voice, but they're so different. But
I think AJ's Mandy's favorite.
I can see that.
I could tell just from the way she's like, oh. I'm like, what?
Hey,
So,
hey,
yeah,
I can
exactly.
see you. I'm right here.
Exactly.
Right here. Poor Mr. X. I'm sure he just had to totally
This has been
ignore
Backstreet
me.
Talk, brought to you by WKYT.
It was the
But
greatest.
it was fun. It was a really good show. We parked relatively close and then walked. It's funny because we're driving up and the Yum
yeah.
Center is so big, and there's a guy that's like parking $10. I'm like, look, we're so close. It's right there. And so I'm pulling. Mr. X was gracious enough to pay for parking, and then we get out. We start walking, and I realize, just because we can see it doesn't mean we're that close.
The more we kept walking, he's like, this seemed a lot closer from further away.
But then we got closer, and parking was $20. I said, I think that walk was worth $10.
Obviously, you and I are all about.
Oh, we're definitely cheapskates.
We don't care.
No.
I'll walk all day.
That's my thought. I was like, you know what? I'll walk an hour, save me some money. So,
Same.
Andrea, do you have a favorite thing this week?
Well, I started watching the show that Miranda mentioned last week.
Oh,
The
SCHITT apostrophe S Creek. Yeah.
Yes. It's hilarious.
Okay, I need to get on that.
Oh my gosh. It is so dry. And I feel like you could watch it so many times and pick up on.
New things.
Yes. It's just like every line is just so brilliant and hilarious. And they're all great actors. Like, it's fabulous.
I do love Eugene Levy. All right, well,
I
there
do
we
too.
go.
And
2 weeks in a row.
He looks handsome.
Yeah?
In this, I don't know what's going on. Like his hair is right. Like the eyebrows are on point. They're very much his trademark. But he like dresses nice. Like he looks really handsome in a way I was not prepared for.
Wow.
And I love his son too.
All right.
I love
excited for
me
it.
some Levy boys.
I have 2 recommendations. First, one is much harder than the other. I'll put it that way. One's very soft. It's Undone by the Backstreet Boys.
Okay.
A song of theirs I'd never heard until that concert. Apparently it's on one of their albums called This Is Us that Kevin's not on, which is weird since, again, he's now
He dropped
possibly
out for
my
a little
favorite.
while.
But, yeah, it was, while they were doing the song, I looked at Mandy and said, I've never heard this song. And then I looked up the set list and found it. And
Yeah.
It's really good.
My mom's only question, because like I said in the car, I think all mothers always thought Kevin was the most attractive growing up because
Oh, I didn't
all
know
the little
that.
girls were obsessed with Nick,
Oh, yeah.
But I think the
Kevin
moms
was
were all
the
like,
actual grown man at the time.
That's a
'cause
man.
he's older than, yeah.
Yes, but she was like, my mom was like, did Kevin play his white piano? And I was like, no, that was a Millennium thing. You
But they did wear
silly
white
girl.
suits. They when they popped
Yeah,
up
they
in the
brought
white.
back the white, and
Everyone was
it
very
looked good.
excited. So that's my first favorite thing, Undone. Second is a movie as we're getting approaching
the harder thing?
Halloween. Yes, it came out last year, 2 years ago. It's a horror movie called Hereditary.
Okay.
It's pretty intense.
Okay.
It's not going to be for everyone.
Like
but
me?
if you like scary movies, you should watch it.
Is it legit scary? Because I just saw
Yes.
it too, and it was not scary at all.
No, Hereditary is legit scary.
Like nightmare scary? Like, is this
Possibly,
something that could
yes.
happen? Those are the ones
No,
that freak me out the
I
most.
don't. Maybe. I will say, like, as I was watching it, there were definitely times that I was like, "Oh, I can't watch this around Mandy."
Really?
Yeah. 'Cause some scary movies I will try to get her to watch with me.
Right.
Like it, I think she would really enjoy. She
It's
never
more
watched
funny
it.
than
yeah.
scary.
So there are plenty of them. We went and watched Ready or Not, the movie where the girl marries into the family and then they end up trying to hunt her down on her wedding night.
Is that the one with Margot Robbie?
She looks just like Margot Robbie. That's
So
not
it's
Margot
not Margot Robbie.
It's not
I didn't
Margot
think
Robbie.
it was, but somebody said it was her.
No, somebody lied to you. That's not her.
Okay, I thought they just
That's-
kind of favored each
That's
other.
an actress who was in a Netflix movie called The Babysitter. That's also really good.
Okay.
Which is also more of a funny horror movie that I tried to, again, get Mandy to watch.
She's
Hereditary?
got a type.
I would not suggest she watches Hereditary. So Hereditary, his next movie was the one Midsommar. Did you see the previews for that?
No,
Where
sir.
they go. Anyway, that one I think may still be out in theaters. But Hereditary is on Amazon, Hulu. It's on one of those two. That's where I watched it, and it is messed up in a good way.
In a good way.
So those are my suggestions right now.
Wow.
As we approach the spooky month of October, I'll look to more horror movies to suggest.
Well,
but,
we just
yeah.
bookended this podcast with some darkness at the front and some darkness at the end. So I feel like we've done our job.
Just remember, everybody, you get a lifetime. Bye.
Bye.